In the small village of Umuis in the heart of Igbo land, there lived a young man named Obinna. Obinna was a handsome and strong man, loved by all who knew him. He was engaged to a beautiful woman named Akuna, and their wedding was just a moon away. But one fateful day, Obinna's heart changed. He met another woman named Gechi, and his heart was stolen away. He forgot his promise to Akuna and chose to marry Kechi instead. Little did Obinna know, Akuna's grandmother, a powerful priestess, had placed a curse on him for breaking his promise. The curse was this: Obinna's stomach would swell up like a balloon, and no remedy would heal him. Days passed, and Obinna's wedding to Ninkechi approached. But strange things began to happen. Obinna's stomach started to swell, growing bigger and bigger like a ripe mango. He tried to ignore it, thinking it was just a minor illness, but the swelling only grew worse. Akuna's grandmother, the priestess, watched from afar, her eyes blazing with a knowing fire. She had warned Obinna, but he had refused to listen. Now, the curse was taking hold and nothing could stop it. Obinna's family and friends were shocked and frightened by his condition. They tried every remedy they knew, herbs, rituals, and sacrifices, but nothing seemed to work. Obinna's swollen stomach became a burden, a constant reminder of his broken promise. Obinna's swollen stomach made it hard for him to move around. He couldn't work in his farm or hunt in the forest. He became a shadow of his former self, and his new wife, Nkechi, didn't know how to help him. One day, Obinna's father, a respected elder in the village, called upon the village's greatest healers to come and help his son. They came with their bags of herbs and medicines, but none of their remedies worked. As the sun began to set, Akuna's grandmother appeared at Obinna's doorstep. Her eyes flashed with a fierce light as she spoke. Obinna, you broke your promise and brought shame to our family. The curse will only be lifted when you make things right with Akuna. Obinna wept, knowing he had wronged Akuna and her family. But he didn't know how to make things right. The priestess vanished as suddenly as she appeared, leaving Obinna to suffer with his swollen stomach. Days turned into weeks, and Obinna's condition worsened. His stomach grew so large that he couldn't even walk. He was bedridden, unable to move or perform even the simplest tasks. Nkechi, his wife, did her best to care for him, but it was a heavy burden. She had to feed him, bathe him, and even help him use the bathroom. Obinna felt like a burden, and his pride suffered along with his body. One day, as Nkechi was changing his bandages, Obinna broke down in tears. Nkechi, my love, I am cursed. I wronged Akuna and her family, and now I am paying the price. Nkechi tried to comfort him, but Obinna continued, I must make things right with Akuna. I must find a way to lift this curse. But how could he make things right when he couldn't even leave his bed? Obinna's situation seemed hopeless, and the curse seemed too powerful to be broken. As Obinna lay in bed, he couldn't shake off the feeling of hopelessness. He felt like a prisoner in his own body, unable to move or escape the curse. Nkechi tried to lift his spirits, but even her warm smiles and gentle touch couldn't pierce the darkness that surrounded him. Obinna's family and friends visited, but their words of encouragement seemed hollow. One day, as the sun cast its golden light through the window, Obinna heard a soft voice whispering in his ear. Obinna, my brother, I am here for you. It was Akuna, the woman he had wronged. Obinna's eyes welled up with tears as Akuna approached him. She carried a small bag of herbs and a calabash of water. I have come to help you, Obinna, but you must first admit your wrong and promise to make things right. Obinna's heart swelled with regret and gratitude. He nodded, his voice shaking. Akuna, my sister, I was wrong to jilt you. I promise to make things right, no matter what it takes. Akuna's face softened, and she began to prepare the herbs and water. Then let us begin the journey to lift the curse. Akuna mixed the herbs and water, creating a fragrant paste. She gently applied it to Obinna's swollen stomach, chanting soft prayers. The aroma filled the room, and Obinna felt a strange sensation, like a gentle stirring in his belly. Obinna, you must drink this, Akuna said, offering him a calabash of bitter-tasting liquid. It will help to cleanse your body and spirit. Obinna hesitated, but Akuna's encouraging smile gave him strength. He drank the liquid, feeling its bitter taste spread through his body. As the sun began to set, Akuna helped Obinna out of bed. We must go to the river Njaba, she said. The river's waters will wash away the curse. Obinna leaned on Akuna's shoulder, his legs trembling. Together, they began the journey to the river, a journey that would change Obinna's life forever. As they walked, the darkness of night fell around them. Fireflies flickered like tiny stars, and the sounds of the forest came alive. Obinna's legs ached, but Akuna's support kept him going. After what seemed like hours, they reached the river Njaba's banks. The water shimmered like a mirror, reflecting the starry sky. Akuna led Obinna to the river's edge and instructed him to bathe in the waters. Obinna hesitated, fearing the curse's power. But Akuna's gentle encouragement gave him the courage to step forward. The cool water enveloped him, and he felt a strange sensation, like the curse's grip loosening. As he bathed, Akuna chanted prayers and sprinkled sacred herbs into the water. The river seemed to come alive, its waters swirling and churning. Obinna felt a surge of energy, like a weight lifting off his shoulders. Suddenly, his swollen stomach began to shrink, returning to its normal size. Obinna's eyes widened in amazement as he felt the curse lifting, like a veil torn away from his soul. With the curse lifted, Obinna felt a sense of relief wash over him. He emerged from the river, his strength and vitality restored. Akuna smiled, her eyes shining with warmth. "The curse is gone, Obinna," she said. Obinna nodded, knowing he had to make amends for his past mistakes. Akuna led him to a nearby village where they met with the elders in Akuna's family. Obinna confessed his wrongdoing, apologizing for jilting Akuna and causing her family shame. He promised to work hard to regain their trust and respect. The elders and Akuna's family accepted his apology, but they also gave him a task to complete a series of challenges to prove his commitment to redemption. Obinna accepted the challenges, determined to make things right. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was ready to face whatever lay ahead. The first challenge was to fetch a rare medicinal plant from the forest, one that only grew on the darkest and most dangerous paths. Obinna set out early in the morning, determined to succeed. As he journeyed deeper into the forest, the shadows grew darker and the sounds of the wild grew louder. Obinna's heart raced with fear, but he pressed on, remembering Akuna's words of encouragement. After hours of searching, he finally found the plant, its leaves shimmering with a faint, otherworldly glow. He plucked it carefully and made his way back to the village. The elders and Akuna's family were impressed, but they knew that the real tests were yet to come. The next challenge was to retrieve a sacred drum from the rival village, one that had been stolen years ago. Obinna accepted the challenge, knowing that it would require all his courage and cunning. He set out on the long journey, his heart pounding with anticipation. Obinna arrived at the rival village, his heart racing with anxiety. He knew that retrieving the sacred drum would not be easy, but he was determined to succeed. He approached the village elder, a wise and fierce man named Obbufi. "I have come for the drum of peace," Obinna said, his voice steady. Obbufi laughed, his eyes glinting with amusement. "You think you can just walk in here and take it? You must prove yourself worthy." Obinna nodded, expecting this. He was led to a great hall where he faced a series of trials, wrestling a fierce warrior, solving a complex puzzle, and singing a song of peace. With each trial, Obinna proved himself, his strength, wisdom, and voice impressing the rival villagers. Finally, Obbufi handed him the drum, its surface adorned with symbols of peace and unity. "Take it," Obinna Obbufi said. "You have proven yourself a true son of our land." Obinna returned to his village, the drum held high. Akuna and her family welcomed him with joy, and the village celebrated long into the night. The drum's sweet sound filled the air, a symbol of peace and unity between the rival villages. Obinna's journey was far from over, but he knew he was on the right path. With the drum of peace in hand, Obinna was hailed as a hero in his village. But Akuna's grandmother, the wise priestess, knew that one final test remained. "Obinna, you have proven yourself brave, wise, and musical," she said, her eyes shining with a knowing light. "But can you forgive those who wronged you?" Obinna thought of his past mistakes and the pain he had caused. He thought of Akuna's forgiveness and the second chance she had given him. "Yes, I can forgive," he said, his voice firm. The priestess nodded, a small smile on her face. "Then go to the rival village and forgive Obbufi, the elder who once sought to harm you." Obinna set out on the journey, his heart filled with a sense of purpose. When he arrived, Obbufi was surprised to see him. "Obinna, I wronged you in the past," Obbufi said, his voice filled with regret. "Can you truly forgive me?" Obinna nodded, his arms open wide. "I forgive you, Obbufi. Let us put the past behind us and move forward in peace." The two men embraced, and the rival villages were finally at peace. Obinna returned home, his heart full of joy and his spirit at peace. Obinna's journey had come full circle. He had faced his mistakes, made amends, and forgiven those who had wronged him. The curse was lifted, and the rival villages were at peace. Akuna's grandmother, the wise priestess, smiled as she looked at Obinna. You have proven yourself a true son of our land, she said. Your heart is pure and your spirit is strong. Obinna and Akuna were married in a grand ceremony with both villages in attendance. The drum of peace was beaten, and the sound of its sweetness filled the air. As they danced and celebrated, Obinna knew that he had finally found his true path. He had learned the value of forgiveness, courage, and redemption. The story of Obinna and Akuna was passed down through generations, a reminder of the power of love, forgiveness, and the human spirit. And so Obinna's journey came to an end, but the lessons he learned will live on forever.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.